Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to install TouchDRO on a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus with the Raspberry Pi 7-inch touchscreen. Stay tuned and see how we did it. First, what we're going to do is start off and download a program off of this website, Costa Kang. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. We'll go here to Devices, Raspberry Pi 3, and we are going to do the Android 10 install. That's the one that actually I got running, and I've tried 8 and I've tried 9 and had a little bit of issues with getting G apps installed, which is your Google Play Store. So since I successfully got an Android 10 and got it running, let's go ahead and show you how to do it through Android 10. So I go ahead and click on Android 17.1 or Android 10 LineageOS, and any types of settings and everything is in here, but the main point is we want to download this zip file. Go ahead, download that. Once that's completed, insert an SD card into your computer, and what I'm going to be using is a program called Etcher. Etcher will flash it onto the SD card. So I'm going to go ahead and select my file. This one's 17.1. Click Open, select my target. This is my mass storage USB device. Click on that and select it and click the flash button. Now this will take a hot minute to do its thing, so give it some time. It will pop up trying to insert disk because it's first flashing over all the different directories, but it will put 7.52 gigabytes onto a flash drive, so just an FYI, it might take a hot minute. I will see you when it's all complete. Okay, so once it's complete, you'll take your flash card and put it in your Raspberry Pi. Unfortunately for this install, you do have to set it up using a computer screen, mouse, and keyboard. So just an FYI there, if you are going to be like me using the 7-inch screen, you will have to first initially boot up into this system first using monitor, HDMI, a keyboard, and mouse. Let this load up and you'll get a splash screen that'll be like an initial setup of a tablet. You'll go ahead and fill out all that and make sure that you enable your Wi-Fi. So make sure you connect into your Wi-Fi because we will have to download G apps off the website. So once this gets loaded up and booted up, I will continue from there. This does take a little bit of time the first time. After that, it does kind of speed up just a little bit, but don't get your hopes up. This is not a fast machine by any means when it comes to starting up. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so here's the splash screen. I'll just go ahead and click through it. Once my mouse, there it is, gets situated there, it will just ask you general information, and like I said, it will ask you for your Wi-Fi, so make sure you put that in there. Once I get done clicking through here, I will show you what to do next. Okay, so once we've booted fully up into the system, what I like to do is actually click and drag that to remove. I don't want anything running in the background. That kind of slows things up, so just going to remove all that. I don't need anything else, but we'll just leave it for right now. What we'll want to do is go into our settings here, and the first thing is finding our system, and there should be an about. Actually, I believe it's easier just to search about. Once this loads up, you want to go to the About tablet, and enabling developer options is just simply clicking on the build number multiple times, and now we've enabled development settings. Once we've completed that, we will go ahead and download our G apps. which is a very simple download. Just a quick Google search of G apps is one word, and I'll show you once we get there. Okay, so once we're at the OpenGApps website, go ahead and go to ARM, and our Android version is version 10, and we will want to make sure that we select the Pico and click download. It'll bring up this next website, and it will say software downloads are not possible on this device. That is a lie. We will go and click the try to download anyway button. Once that decides to load, we will click allow and download. Once this downloads, we will go and change one more setting. Actually, while that's downloading, we can do that. The system does run like a 1995 computer, by the way, if I haven't said that already. In settings, what we'll do is go to System here. Go to Advanced. And we'll go into Developer Options. Like I said, the system runs pretty slow, but once you actually get the application downloaded and installed, everything's pretty quickly. We'll enable Advanced Restart. That'll get us into our development options when we restart the machine and get us to actually install. Check our download real quick here. Our download is complete. So we'll go ahead and hold F5 on your keyboard. It'll bring up the restart. Since we enabled the advanced restart option, that's where we'll go ahead and click recovery. Now our system will shut down and boot up into recovery mode. So you'll know you're successfully into recovery mode is when this screen will pop up. We'll go ahead and swipe. And first thing that we'll do is just go to install. We were in downloads, and there's our GApps Pico. Click on that, and we'll just go ahead and reboot after installation is complete and swipe this over. And now it's installing GApps. Problem with this though is now everything will kind of start running a little bit slower on the computer, and it might get you a little frustrated, but just bear with it. It will end up working, and once you've installed the application, everything's pretty much good to go. So just let this install, and I won't bore you with this, but after it's done installing, it'll take another minute to restart. Once it's restarted, we'll continue from there. All right, so once we boot it back up, you do have to note that the computer will be running, it'll feel fairly slow compared to what we've been used to. We will have to click and drag up, and our Play Store now should be visible in here. So, like I said, the system will be going very slow. When you click into Play Store, it will actually take quite a while for it to open, for you to log into your Google account, and for everything to, process from there. So don't get frustrated. It does take a little bit of time. All right, so after about 5 minutes, we finally got to the sign-in screen. We'll click the sign-in button, and it will most likely take another few minutes before it'll actually let you actually sign in. So again, very slow, but just take your time. It will work, I promise you. It just takes a little bit of patience. Also, this screen might pop up a few times. Just, wiggle your mouse, and like it shows you, the mouse is kind of stuck. But once your mouse gets unstuck, you'll be able to click the wait button. Okay, so once that finally registers that you've gotten this far, you'll see this checking info, and I have no idea what the program's actually doing, but ultimately what it's going to do is eventually ask you to log in. Okay, so after about another 5 minutes, maybe longer, we're finally here to the Google sign-in page. Okay, and finally, it did finally pop up, and I was able to just type it in TouchDRO. Just a heads up though, it did crash. I did restart. I did have to reopen it. It had me try to log back in again. Then it crashed again. Then it reopened, and then it finally popped up saying I was logged in. Everything was good to go. So just an FYI, it is definitely not user friendly. It is not for the weak of heart. So if you did not want to do it this way, what you could do is run the APK file. So you could download just the Raspberry Pi, not install Google Play Store, and there is a website that does a copy of all the APK files that go on the App Store for Google. So there is a way to, install this program without needing to do the Google Play Store, but again, it's the APK file, so you might have to, you still might have to install the Google Play, like the G apps, to get the APK file to open up. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to do a follow up and write maybe a comment in the comments below once I give that a test run. But yeah, so once this is installed, we'll show you it opening up for the first time. And I don't have a scale with me, unfortunately. So I'm going to purchase the adapter card, and I can give you a run through of what that looks like. I also am looking at getting a Nexus 7 since they are so cheap on eBay used. That's what a lot of people are using TouchDRO with. And you just need a Bluetooth connection. I had a Raspberry Pi, so I figured, might as well just make a short video and show people that it is possible to do this. It is installed, so I'll go ahead and click open. And like I said, once the app is running and nothing else is running on the computer, it is actually pretty quick, and I would assume it's going to work just fine. I don't know, because of the speed, if something's going to mess up with the Bluetooth and if it's going to take a minute, but I have a feeling it should work just fine since it's dedicated all resources to just that program when it's running. So the Raspberry Pi should be able to run it just fine. Anyway, there's the application. It does yell at you saying that it was built for an older version of Android, which is fine. Again, I didn't see any functionality changes. The only thing I did see was if you are using this for a mill, because of the screen resolution, it's a little cut off down here. We'll allow it to turn on the Bluetooth, and we'll go ahead and hit got it once this lets me. Oh, it's turning on the Bluetooth. My apologies, computer. And click got it. So yeah, that's it. Once this actually registers that I hit got it, I think what it's doing right now is using some resources to pull up the Bluetooth, and unfortunately that slows things up a little bit. But yeah, if we go here into settings, like I said, I'm going to use this for a lathe, so I'm not too concerned about needing to click and drag that over. But like I said, it was functioning fully. So what I'm going to do is, since now it's downloaded, I'm going to just go ahead and restart the whole machine again, and hopefully it won't be lagging out. So let me do a restart real quick and let's see if it speeds it up. All right, so after restarting the machine, making sure all the background applications are closed, everything is just the DRO is running, and everything is very snappy. Clicking items, loading it up, everything seems to be very quick. Even going in here, clicking the connect. I did move it to airplane mode and just selected Bluetooth, so it's not connecting to the internet, so nothing's trying to run in the background like updates or anything of that nature. So once I get the card, the Bluetooth card for the scales, and I'll just hook up a scale to it, we'll see what happens. So please, if you like this video, please like, subscribe. Once I do get the scales in, we'll run a test on this. Also, I'll be running a test on a couple other items with this DRO system, trying to make this user-friendly for everything. I guess there is one other thing though that I did want to continue. So if you wanted to stop here and end the video, that's great. What I am going to try to do is look at setting up the display, since I have a 7-inch display and it is a touch screen. It's supposed to be as easy as going into your settings and going into the system settings here. In this version of it, they've added an advanced setting with the Raspberry Pi next to it. So the developer gave specific settings in here. And the graphics driver is supposed to change to Swift Shader. Once the graphics driver has been switched, that should be it. Display rotation, since this is a touch screen, it's always going to be flipped. So I'm going to set the 180 already, even though that kind of messes me up for right this second. But that's all I need. I'm going to hold F5 down. And I'm going to go very carefully to power off. And we will shut this down. Click on this box and make sure everything's closed out before you start the DRO. The DRO is this button right here. Click on that. And we'll see if it loads up or not. Oh, and our whole computer just restarted. All right, so I'm gonna give this a shot. We'll see if it works. If it does, I'll keep it in the video. If not, I'm gonna cut away. But what I've been doing is going into the apps, been going down to advanced, battery, and going to background restriction, and hitting restrict. And what I've noticed so far is when I've been doing that, it's actually been getting significantly faster. So just keep clicking items, advanced, battery, and background restriction, and restrict. So I'm hoping by doing this, we're freeing up some space on the Pi, and we'll be able to run just the DRO app. And as you can see, it feels like it's getting faster as we're doing this. So I guess apparently the clock, you can't do that with the clock, unfortunately. All right, so what I ended up doing was disabling the rotation on the screen, and I did get it to work. So just want to show you, loads up, and go ahead and click on the DRO, and click on it, and everything's up and functioning. Because this is the only app running at this time, everything is pretty much quick, snappy, reacting instantaneously. So just wanted to show you that it does work on a 7-inch Raspberry Pi screen. And yeah, I changed the readouts slightly so it's a little bit easier to see. I believe with the screen resolution, that's something that had to change, but I'll make a custom mount for this. Once I get the scales in, we'll give that a shot, and we'll see how, responsive the screen refresh is compared to it. Anyway, thanks everyone for sticking around if you did, and I'll see you on the next video.